Well, it's another really, really poor performance from Wolves, and something has to change. The 3 wins that came against the teams in the lower end of the table, for me, just completely paper over the cracks of the bigger picture. That Wolves look a tired team, and we look one-dimensional. We know exactly how we're going to play, even to a T, to the people who are going to be playing. Something has to change. I mean, we're chasing the game with a better team, and Nuno brings on a holding midfielder. Now you've got Podence on the bench. I bet he was buzzing to rush back to sit on the bench again. He obviously doesn't trust him, so is it the recruitment? Is it what? Then something has to change, whether it's a change of system or what.
Oh, that's tough to take. It was always going to be a tense game. I haven't felt that tense watching a game of football since the extra time live at Wembley in the FA Cup. And it was that game that we were all kind of, certainly over the last few weeks, thinking is going to be, could be a stumbling block for us. Sheffield United have been fantastic this season. It's really, really hard.
A bad finish to a bad game. We just weren't on it. First half with the Neves free kick, that's the only highlight I've got of the first half. Second half, the game itself was atrocious. It was like watching a mid-table championship game, never mind 2 teams fighting for a top 4 finish in the Premier League. It was just atrocious. Don't blame the weather, because you've seen tons of games played in the rain, which are brilliant. It was just a poor game of football. No one deserved to win. It was just one of those games where I just couldn't wait for it to end. And a point would have been good in the end, but we've come away with nothing.
A very good morning from my couch in lockdown in Melbourne. Wolves losing 1-0 away to Sheffield United. I guess we started well. We had a good formation. I thought that it was good to see 3 up front again, and Jota looked sprightly early on. However, I felt that we probably didn't make and create enough chances in the final third of the field, and unfortunately we ended up paying the price through their eagerness to get the 3 points at the end, and our probably acceptance that we were probably going to only get a point out of the game.
We're so easy to play against. There's no tempo. Jota, again, really poor. Bolly, second game in a row, he's looked rubbish. Says Cody, the only person who can hold the head up high there was Neves, but Sheffield United deserved it, because I actually went and chased the game and we sat back, and it just, the way that Nuno plays, and everyone's going to jump on my back for his criticism, just because where we are doesn't mean we're immune to criticism. Because we've just had two or three good seasons doesn't mean you can't criticise the manager and the players and the club. Something has to change, the system has to change. The Wolverhampton Wanderers are boring to watch. It's a snooze fest. Unless we're getting the win, which obviously, and then no one talks about it, but when you're having performances like that, and Arsenal, and even the other 3 games we won, it's boring football.
Poor game. Nothing in it. Both teams looked like they were just playing it safe. I felt from a Wolves perspective, we were sloppy in the final third. Communication seemed a bit off. There didn't seem to be much drive, much push. Nuno's substitution, bringing Donk on, not sure that was the right move. Could he have brought Podence on? What does Podence have to do to get a chance?
And I don't criticise Nuno much. I love the man to bits, as we all do. But why bring Daniel Podence back from Portugal that quickly when you're not going to use him, not even for a minute? I just don't get it. It just reeks of another Catrone signing where someone's brought him in and Nuno really hasn't had a say, and he's been stubborn and is not using him. We all know what he can produce, this Podence. You've seen his clips on YouTube with Olympiacos. So bring him on. And why bring on Dendoncker for Traore? It almost looks like he was settled for a point. It's very poor for me today. I'm really disappointed in his tactics, and we've paid the price.
It's probably reduced our chances significantly of making the top 4, which were probably unrealistic anyhow. Now we can consolidate, hopefully, secure our Europa League place, and then move on into the Europa knockout tournament in Germany. it's a little disappointing. I think that, it'd be very easy to criticise the players. Some of them looked a little lacklustre, but it's, this time of the season, there's a lot at stake. I thought we were improved from the Arsenal game. And again, I think that not taking the chances has probably hurt us.
It's really hard. It's really tough to take, especially with Arsenal, being held to a point in the dying seconds yesterday. It was a big opportunity for us to put a bit of room between us and the others. That includes now Sheffield United, obviously right behind us. But hey, look, we move on. Everton at home on Sunday. That is a must win. Today was a must win, but that now is a certain must win. And, fans or not, Molineux, it needs to happen on Sunday. Yeah, gutted. Absolutely gutted, mate.
And you can forget about the top four now. We've got to look at 5th or 6th place, or even 7th, and go for the Europa qualification, or even win the Europa Cup. But on this form at the moment, the last 2 games, completely different Wolves. We're just not on it.
We move on to Everton on Saturday, and hopefully back at Molineux we can get the 3 points and consolidate that 6th, 7th place.
And something has to change, because we're not even going to crawl over the finish line here. We could be 7th, 8th, 9th, everyone else picking up positions. Rubbish, absolutely garbage.